Hi, you have tuned into the Raging Aggron channel, and I'm your host, Djingis, and I'm here with week 3 of PSL Season 3, and today we are facing Joker or Alice and Holland Heracross, and I'm very scared of this matchup, and I'm very scared of Alice as well as a battler. Alice is actually, of all the coaches that I've faced that are in PSL, Alice is the only one that I have never been able to defeat in a battle. So I'm really scared in that regard. It's a very good team. If you look at it, well, the team that Alice has is a very good team, especially from a stall-ish play style, and can be a bit of a nuisance and very hard for me to deal with. And as you can see, I have a lot of firepower with me, but the team that we are facing is Latias, Starmie, Breloom, Blissey, Pyukumuku, Articuno, Mega Sableye, Skarmory, Gliscor, Togekiss, Piloswine, and Drapion. I don't really know what he will bring. There are 3 months that I'm not expecting him at all to bring. And I'm not expecting him to bring Starmie, I'm not expecting him to bring Articuno, and I'm not expecting him to bring Drapion. Those are the 3 months that I am 100% certain he will not bring. Everything else can come. The reason I don't think Drapion will come is because even if it is an SD set, it can't really do too much to some of my team members. That, I mean, if it is SD, I can actually get in to Megalopony, and he has to click Sucker Punch and can't really do much, and I can kill him pretty easily. If it's already damaged or something, I can want it going with Megadef. So, I mean, it's not that hard for me to deal with Drapion, as far as I recall, at least, when building the team. So that's why I don't feel like Drapion will come. Something that has to come, more or less, Mega Sableye, Blissey, they will 100% come in this matchup. I could see Skarmory being brought, Rocky Helmet Skarmory, just to deal with the Megalopony. Defensive Latias feels pretty easy prediction as well for him to bring. And overall, Togekiss is another one of those pretty easy mounts to predict that he will bring, but I don't really know what he will bring. That's the big problem here. He can bring so many different things, and he can actually build a very offensive team of the ones that I read up earlier. And I'm not really prepared for that type of match. I'm prepared to break his walls. If I remember correctly, in week 1 it took 8. I don't remember. Was it week 2 or week 1 that it took 80 turns before the first Pokemon died in his battle? 80 turns. That's insane. I mean, most of my battles are over in 30 turns. But yeah, but the team that we are bringing versus him, it's a bit of a hit and miss. It can work very well, or it can be a disaster. But first out, we have, making its debut for this season, is Ghost BC, our Cofagrigus with leftovers, a Mummy, Heal Block, Pain Spit, Toxic, and Knockoff. 248 HP, 60 defense, and 200 special defense with Sassy Nature. This Cofagrigus can take 2 hits from everything on his team except for the Drapion, and Choice Specs, Latias, something like that. Otherwise, this Cofagrigus can take 2 hits of everything when it's from full health. Heal Block is there to prevent his team from being able to heal, of course. If you don't know, Heal Block is a move that over the years, since it was released in 4th Gen, it's gotten enormous buffs. But the biggest problem with Heal Block is that there are very few months that learns it. I think it's just 5 or 6 months that are viable in Draft League format that learns Heal Block. Cofagrigus is one of them. The reason I have Cofagrigus here is that I can stop Mega Sableye, that I can stop Blissey, that I can stop Latias, that I can stop Gliscor and Togekiss and Skarmory and whatever it is from healing, and Pyukumuku as well, from healing. Because Heal Block stops every single form of recovery. If I remember correctly, and it does it for the whole team, not for a single Pokemon, but for the whole team for 5 turns. And that is huge in this match, in my opinion. If I can manage to get the Heal Block off, I will be able to break through his walls with ease. Pain Split is just there for longevity, Toxic, just Toxic things and Knockoff to get rid of items, of course. nothing too crazy there, but heal block is the hidden take here, and I really need to be able to get off a heal block. If I don't get the heal block off, it will be way harder to deal with this team. Then we have Icebreaker, our Curon Black with Dragonium Sea, Terravolt, Roost, Ice Beam, Fusion Bolt, and Outrage. 252 attack with Naughty Nature, 20 special attack, and 236 speed. This is done to outspeed, I think it's... I don't remember what type it is, but it's here to outspeed some of the monsters that he has that I don't really anticipate in some sense, but this is just here to be speedy and hit hard. It's not that speedy since it's base 95 and he has some 95 and he has fast demands, but can't really do too much to this Curon Black, especially not if he's a bulky Latias, and I'm pretty sure that Curon Black with this set is faster. So yeah, I got that for me. Ice Beam is guaranteed 1-hit KO on Gliscor, of course. It's guaranteed 2-hit KO with that investments on things like Togekiss and Latias and Breloom. Fusion Bolt is guaranteed 1-hit KO in electric terrain on Mewtwo. It's guaranteed 1-hit KO on Articuno. Outrage is a guaranteed 2-hit KO on everything on his team, barring Togekiss, of course, and Dragonium Sea makes it so that I can nuke anything. If I remember correctly, Dragonium Sea Outrage, does around 88% to Mewtwo if it's max defensive, which is huge for me. It's also 1-hit KOs a lot of his threats, defensive threats. It's a really good safety option to have when you have to deal with this type of teams. Then we have Megadeth, our Mega Lopunny with Lopunite, Scrappy, Substitute Power Punch, Return Drain Punch, standard set in my opinion. 56 HP, 252 attack, modest, adamant nature, 20 defense and 180 speed. As I said, if I can make it so he can't heal, and if I can get rid of Mewtwo early on, I can just set up and sweep with Mega Lopunny. In my opinion, he has to bring Mewtwo because that thing has Unaware, or whatever it's called, Unaware, and that means that I can't set up with Mega Lopunny, of course, because he can just send in Mewtwo and I will be behind the sub, and I won't be able to do jack shit. But the good thing is that I can't really break my sub, and if he does, he has to take a Drain Punch, and I will be back at almost full health and I can switch out, and I haven't lost too much momentum. Problem is that I will only do like 35% to Mewtwo with Mega Lopunny, which is insane. I thought I would do at least 40, but no, max 45. That's a bit of a problem, which also means that Sea Dragonium is, well, Sea Outrage is much more important for me in this battle than I first thought when I built the team. And then we have a Monomorph, our Tapu Koko with leftovers, Electric Surge, Taunt, Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt, U-turn, 32 HP, 4 defense, 252 special attack with mild nature, and 220 speed. This thing outspeeds every type of Latias. It can 2-hit KO every type of Latias, if I remember correctly at least, with Dazzling Gleam, and Thunderbolt will get hit like a truck. The problem is I have leftovers, so I won't be able to 2-hit KO some things. I won't be able to deal a tremendous amount of damage. The reason I have leftovers is because I am 100% certain that as soon as Tapu Koko enters the field, Blissey will come out, and that's why I have Taunt and U-turn. And if he stays in with anything, I can click Dazzling Gleam, I can click Thunderbolt, no problem. But Taunt is there to prevent him from doing things that I don't want him to do, like Toxic Me, getting up Stealth Rocks, roosting up or recovering or whatever. It's a bit of a problem for me, so I need to have Taunt here as well as the heal block as I showed earlier. And just to be on the safe side, we have another Taunter here in Stratovarius, our Tornadus, with leftovers, Prankster, Taunt, Default, U-turn, Knockoff. This is just here to get rid of rocks, taunt some things, knock off things, and switch out and get in Icebreaker or Mega Lopunny or whatever I want to get in. 128 HP, 124 defense with Impish Nature, 128 special defense and 128 speed. This thing is just here to outspeed some things that I needed to outspeed to get knockoffs off. It's also a very important speed tier in my opinion to hit, that I hit the 290 so I can get off defogs even if he suppresses my ability, same with the taunt. So it's a very important thing for me to have this speed, even if I would like to have it all in HP or whatever, it's not a lot I can do about it. Last but not least, we have another debut Pokemon. We have Sabaton, our Sudowoodo with Choice Band, Rocket, Head Smash, Sucker Punch, Explosion and Taunt, 42 HP, 252 attack with Adamant Nature, 176 speed EVs, and I just noticed that I have 48 remaining EVs. Oh, that's wow. That's bad. That's really bad. How could I Okay, well, I'm just gonna say that I was 100% certain that I did not do something like that. But that's a fuck up on my part. I'm really glad it doesn't cost me in the battle. I'm just gonna spoil that right away. But it doesn't cost me too much in the battle, which is great, but yeah, okay. I hit the 140 speed because that allows me to outspeed minimum speed Piloswine, which is huge because if he is more specially defensive than physically defensive, I can 100% one-hit KO him after some prior damage on him. And I'm pretty sure that roll is like 80 to 100, well I mean 85 to 100% damage or a bit more. Sucker Punch, Bandit Sucker Punch is a guaranteed 2 KO on a lot of things, like Latias, like the Starmie, deals a good amount of damage to Articuno and so forth, so yeah. Explosion is just there if I need to go out with a bang, and Taunt is there in case I need to taunt something. I don't expect to click anything, click Taunt on anything with Sudowoodo because I would like to click Head Smash every single time. So it's just there to make sure that I have 4 move slots filled up. Otherwise, I don't need anything besides Head Smash. Sucker Punch is just there for the priority, and Explosion is just there to deal a hefty amount of damage. But with that said, I will see you in the battle, so I'm just going to take a short break and I will see you in the battle. Okay, so here we are at the battle, and we are facing his team, and he brought a different team that I thought he would bring. I'm really surprised about seeing both Piloswine and Articuno. There's no Breloom, which is a huge bonus for me, but he brought the Piloswine, Articuno, Blissey, Pyukumuku, Sableye, and Latias. Articuno, I was 100% certain that that thing would not come because I can destroy that thing pretty easy with some of my team members. Piloswine, I understand why it comes, but I don't think it will do too much to my team. Blissey, I mean, I can stop Blissey pretty easy. I can stop a lot of his team pretty easy in my opinion. Hopefully I took him off guard with some of my brings, because it's debuting for Cofagrigus, Tornadus, and the Sudowoodo in this match, and might not have thought that I would bring that. I think he was expecting me to bring Rain, looking at the team, which I did not, because Rain was a terrible matchup, and I rather wanted the all-out power that I got in Kyurem, Black, Megalopony, and Tapu Koko and Sudowoodo. So yeah, I'll actually bring a complete wall breaker team with 2 support mons versus a stall team, more or less. It's not as stally as you will see later in, but it's kind of stally. It's not fun to face. Well, I mean, it was one of the funniest battles, one of the best battles I have ever played. It was really, really fun to play this match. I'm just gonna say that right away. I had a great time playing this match. But stall is not my type of playstyle. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'm just gonna let it sleep for this this time. I'm gonna play this with music off, and we're gonna go right into it. I'm leading with Tapu Koko just so I can switch out into whatever I want. I just click U-turn here as he sets up his rocks. And here I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam. I don't really need to do anything else. See that this is a more specially defensive Piloswine, but it should have some physically investments as well. I just go for another Ice Beam as it goes out into Pyukumuku. It clicks Protector as I go for the Fusion Bolt, because I know if I get rid of this thing, it's great for me. But he protected, of course. I should maybe have played that because it was pretty obvious that he was going to do that. Back into Stratovarius here as he clicks Counter, which was a pretty obvious play. Which also shows me that he knows that he can live 1 even in terrain, which is a bit of a problem for me. I just click Taunt and stop that even completely, so I can click Defo again to get rid of the Stealth Rocks, and Stratovarius is almost back to full health. I just go for the knockoff here, just getting rid of the leftovers or whatever this thing had, just to make it more less threatening, because I thought this was a Specs Articuno, which would have been terrible for me to face. But as you can see, Freeze Ray did a good amount, so I'm just going to switch out directly. Don't even want to go for the U-turn here. He clicks Freeze Ray, gets a crit, which is a bit of a problem, but I go for U-turn here. He stays in, which I was not expecting, so I go out into my Dragon type, I see Roosts, no problem for me. And I just click Ice Beam here again. No, I mean, I don't really need to do anything else. I'm not that specially offensive. I'm more physically offensive, of course, as you saw in the team building. But I go to Stradivarius here, predicting the EQ. Just go for the U-turn here, because I thought he was switching once again, fairing the knockoff. But he goes for the Icicle Crash. I got it to Mega Lopunny so I could get my Mega Evolution off and click Drain Punch after that damage I took. Bringing me a good chunk up to health, and now you see that it's a very defensive Pyukimyuki that can stop it pretty easily. He goes for Toxic here on my Go Switch in. And I was contemplating on going for Knockoff or for Heal Block here, but I decided to go for Knockoff just in case it stayed in. Getting rid of Leftovers would have been huge on that thing. But it makes a smart play and go out to try to Kuno. I Toxic the bird, which I feel like will help me a lot in the future. And just go for here. I was very close to Toxic here on this play, or you click Heal Block, but I decided that I need some health back, so I clicked Pain Split. And as you can see, I don't have a lot of health left with the Toxic, so I just switch out into Tapu Koko here as it misses the Will-O-Wisp, which is huge. It's going to show late game, it's huge. But I go for the Dazzling Gleam here, no need to do anything else. And I just go for U-turn here, thinking that he was going to switch out, but he just goes for the Recover here. And I'm going right out into my answer to this thing, which is Ghost here, and I go for Pain Split. He goes for Will-O-Wisp, but the face because I'm Toxic, of course. And here I switch out into Tapu Koko so I don't take too much damage as he goes for Recover. This time he switches out and out into Blissey and go for the Dazzling Gleam because I thought that he was gonna stay in this time and just protect us last time. But he did not, so I clicked Taunt here just so he can't Toxic me or do anything else because I felt that it was a very high probability that he was not gonna go for Seismic Toss that turn. So I do that and click U-turn. Got into Mega Lopunny, which take a huge amount of damage from the Seismic Toss. Ziggs out into this thing and I click Drain Punch to get some health back, and it shows me this is a very bulky Latias, which can be a bit of a problem. At this time, I was hoping that he was going to be a bit more defensive and not as speedy, because then I could outspeed him with Stratovarius, which would have been huge, getting a knockoff off here. But that wasn't to be. He was faster. It was a 50-50, and I was okay with doing the trade because outside of Kyurem Black, I don't really have any rock weakness on the team. And knowing that I have a lot of taunters, well, I have Tapu Koko as a taunter still, I am fine regarding that because I can always get Tapu Koko in one way or another and stop the rocks from coming up. And I'm actually thinking that rocks take a lot of time before rocks comes up again, if I recall correctly. But he draws First Blood here, which is kind of bad for me. I go for the Dazzling Gleam here, seeing that this is a decently offensive, even if it's kind of bulky Latias. But I decided to go for the Taunt here so he can't recover, and it shows that was a pretty decent switch. He goes out to Blissey here, as I should have clicked U-turn. It was pretty obvious, but I decided to go for the Dazzling Gleam because I thought it was going to stay in and click Psychic, predicting Mega Lopunny. So I go for U-turn this time out into Sudowoodo. And he goes for Seismic Toss, and here's one thing that I forgot to mention in the team builder that I built. I built this Sudowoodo to 100% be faster than a bulky Piloswine, than a standard bulky Piloswine, but 100% being slower than a standard Blissey, which means that he will think that I am a slow Sudowoodo, so he can outspeed me with Piloswine and click EQ later on, and whoopsie, I'm faster, Piloswine will die. And this is my way to show this off. He goes for Wish here as I click Head Smash and I demolish this thing. I 100% demolish the Blissey. Now he doesn't have a good switch into Tapu Koko any longer. So I can freely go into this thing here and I can click U-turn or I can click whatever he wants to. This was a very good double on his part. Because that meant that he could get in the Piloswine, but I managed to taunt it so he can't get in off his rocks, and he goes for EQ here as I switch out. I just go for Pain Split here if I recall correctly. Knockoff or Pain Split. I went for the knockoff to try and get rid of its Eviolite, of course. But here I'm just gonna go for the... He goes for Protect here. I decided to go for Pain Split because I need more health. And I go for Pain Split, and he goes for Foul Play. And now he loses his Magic Buns into Mummy. I decide, okay, I need to Toxic this thing so I can whittle this down later on. Screw the Heal Block plan. If I can Toxic this thing, that's way more valuable because I can stall out the Pyukimyuki with, between Return and and Drain Punch, I can stall out the Pyukumuku. So I'm fine with that, no problem for me. It's better to just Toxic this thing. So now we have a Toxic Mega Sableye on the field, which isn't that often you see. GhostBC did a great job this whole match. And I just got into this thing clicking Head Smash, and it decides to stay in. Which was pretty smart because I lost Mummy, and I was 100% certain that if I lost Mummy, well, if I lost Head Smash, well, if I lost Rockhead, I would not lose the health this turn from it, so I would still have 2 turns that I could Head Smash. But lo and behold, I did not know the full extent of the broken ability that is Mummy, and now I lost 50% of my health. Whoopsie! So yeah, I just stay in here and click for Head Smash, and as you can see, he thought that I was gonna be faster, but slower, so he goes for Stealth Rock here because he knows he can leave a hit, and now this thing is almost dead, and he decides to sack it off here to Dazzling Gleam, which is huge for me. Stealth Rocks are up, but it doesn't really bother me any longer, because I know between the 3 mons that I have left, I can defeat these 3 mons pretty easily, as long as I get the rolls with me, and here you'll see why that mattered so much that I didn't get burned. First off, that I got the low roll, and then I got the middle roll, and then I got the low roll as well after this protect that he does. But thanks to him protecting this turn, no, the turn prior, that means that he can't kill me with Psychic, thanks to the leftovers that are thanks to the Fire Will-O-Wisp missing. And now Latias can't do jack shit to anything on my team because I am faster with Megalopony, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can get rid of Articuno as well. Even if I can't kill it with Thunderbolt, I will still get rid of it. Tapu Koko did what it should do, I'm glad about it. And here goes out into Pyukumuku as I got into Megalopony, because I was actually thinking he would go into Latias, but he did not. Clicks Protect, which I'm fine with. And I just go for Roost here, knowing that he will click Protect again. Just to scout out what I will do. And here I go for the Sea Dragon, Sea Outrage, and it does a good amount of damage. 83%. And I'm really happy with that. He clicks Counter, I'm fine with that, because I know now that he can't do anything at all that can defeat Megalopony at this point in time. And then it switches out into Latias, and I'm thinking, okay, did I miscalc anything? Can I not kill Pyukumuku with a return or a Drain Punch after he protects this time? Is it something that he knows that I don't know? Have I miscalculated something? And I got really, really nervous at this play. I was going back and forth, what should I do? Should I attack him, knowing that he will protect, and knowing that I next turn might not be able to kill him? Or should I sub up on his protect, to know that whatever he does, I can 100% survive the next thing he does? And I decided to do the safe play on the protect and go for the substitute. The protect was very obvious in my opinion, so I decided to get the sub up, and it clicks protect again, and it fails, and I kill with the return, and I win the battle here. Into this battle, Joker and I, well, Alice, Joker and I, we were both 2-0, ranked 2nd and 3rd, if I remember correctly, in power rankings. I'm 2nd and he 3rd, or if he was 4th, something like that. This was a real test of my skills, a real test of what I can do in this league. I've never been able to defeat Joker before, but I actually think that the last 10 turns, something like that. Let's see here. No, it has to be, yeah, from the Head Smash on, not on Blissey, but on Sableye and Sableye and Piloswine. I actually thought, okay, I have a good chance of winning this. Before that, I was a bit iffy if I could actually win this. But the last 10 turns were huge in my opinion, because I actually managed to pull away with the win. Something that I was very unsure if I would be able to do. But I managed to do it. It was a really good play. It was really fun to play this match. I had a lot of fun prepping for it, even if it was stressful as hell. I had, at one point in time, I had 18 sets. I had 3 complete teams with sets for this matchup. And I narrowed it down to 12. That was all I could do by myself. Then I had to talk to others to narrow it down to these 6. And it helped, it worked. I'm happy. It was a really good match. It sucks that the Will-O-Wisp miss won me the game. that he missed his Will-O-Wisp won me the game in the long term, because I was managed to get back to almost full health with Tapu Koko, which then meant that Latias couldn't take care of it. That's huge. Another thing that was huge was that he didn't think that Sudowoodo would come, and he had 2 months. Well, I mean, Sableye gets 1-hit KO'd by it, Blissey gets 1-hit KO'd by it, Articuno gets 1-hit KO'd by it, Piloswine after rocks get 1-hit KO'd by it, Pyukimuk gets a 2-hit KO on the switch in. I mean, if it switches in, even if it's full health, it's a guaranteed 2-hit KO. Latias can switch in once, if it is a bulky Latias. If it's not, it dies. So he had nothing for Sudowoodo, and I feel like I managed to use that very well to break down Blissey and Mega Sableye and deal a tremendous amount of damage to Piloswine, to the point where it was of no use to him any longer and I had to sack it off. And then I could easily deal with Pyukyu, Articuno and Latias. I feel like I had a very solid game plan from turn 30, something like that. And I managed to pull it off and do great on it. And fun fact, this battle was 56 turns. The battle, well, in earlier battles, the first time a Pokemon dies is in turn 50, 54, something like that. So I managed to defeat a stall team within the first 56 turns, when the previous 2 teams wasn't able to get... I mean, in the previous matches, no Pokemon was killed before turn 50. And I'm really grateful for that. That actually meant that the team that I brought was correct for this matchup. It was good, not hyper offensive, but it was very offensive, and thanks to the amount of wall breaks I had, I was able to deal with the team. Not easily, not at all easily, but I managed to deal with it. This is probably one of the closest games that I have ever played, and if it wasn't for having Mega Lopunny, I would have lost this match, because I don't think I would have beaten Pyukimuk with any other Mega. Maybe Mega Beedrill or Mega Alakazam, but Mega Alakazam I don't think could have beaten Latias. I don't think so. I really don't. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that Mega Lopunny was able to pull through in this match, and I'm really happy with how everything turned out. That I managed to use some unexpected events, like getting rid of Magic Pounce on Mega Sableye, to the point that they actually had to, okay, I have to sack this thing off to Sudowoodo, because I have nothing that can switch in on it, and it is toxic. It will never be able to do anything, you know, it can't stall anything. So yeah, it was really good. It was a great battle. I might overanalyze this battle a lot now, but I feel like I have to just to give the thought process, because I really think that's something valuable that you as a viewer can learn something from if you are not used to draft leagues. And even if you are used to draft leagues, it's always useful to see the mindset of another battler. So that's why I have this whole post-game talk here about different things. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I know this will be a very long video due to me talking bullshit. But if you watch this through to the end, please leave a comment or a like, and I will see you next time.